welcome. We have two customers joining me on stage today to share their journey thinking about machine learning strategy, challenges they faced, how they tackled them, and their reflections on their journey. My name is Catherine Ko. I'm an AI/ML specialist at AWS, and thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
I know the audience is really excited to hear from you. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself and what you're doing?
I'm Hong Jie, and I'm from Razer. So I work in the big data team in Razer, and I take charge of data science and data engineering tasks in the company. So with a team of data scientists, data engineers, machine learning engineers. So about my company, Razer. Razer is the world's leading lifestyle brand for gamers, and we have a fan base that spans across every continent. And we have designed and built a gamer-focused ecosystem of hardware, software, and services.
I'm Boon Ping. I'm from StarHub, specifically SmartHub. We are the analytic divisions of StarHub that handle all data that travels through our network, including broadband and mobile networks. So our team runs in a pretty lean and dynamic manner. There are about 24 of us managing end-to-end from platform, data engineering, data science, to product management, solution architect, and even business development. So we function like a startup within StarHub, serving as an AI/ML innovation hub while managing our P&L. Our mission in SmartHub is to deliver value by developing data-driven products that enhance customer experience while unlocking new revenue streams and growth opportunities. Yeah.
Thank you for the introduction. In the context of today's session, what are the trends that you're seeing in gaming, in telco?
Right. Telco insights is going to be everywhere in every business, simply because every transaction goes through the internet today, right? Imagine your broadband data, your 5G data, IoT data, right? It forms a digital twins of customer 360 and enterprise 360 of almost every industry, right? Reflecting the trend, for example, in retail industry, how we move from brick and mortar to e-commerce during the pandemic and slowly go back to brick and mortar as a new norm, right? In healthcare industry, what's the take-up rate of telemedicine, right? So last November, StarHub has launched our second phase of digital transformation journey called DARE+, with an aim of going beyond telco, right? One of the initiatives of DARE+ is that we are building a comprehensive data lake that enable us to understand 360 view of our customers. And this wealth of data, it's not going to be used for internal purposes only, but we will make it available for our enterprise client as well. So in my opinion, digital transformation is inevitable for telco business, and how we can leverage on data to thrive together with our customers is very important for us to stay competitive in the market.
I see.
Yeah, so actually in the gaming field, right? So gaming is present all along, and it has been improving and pushing new boundaries technologically. So in fact, in the last couple of years, it has picked up rapidly with the improvement of our computer processing power, and also with COVID, we have seen a huge surge of gamers. So at Razer, what we want to do is we want to keep up to our gamers' needs, so that we can continue to be the leader and the leading lifestyle brand for gamers. So to do that, we have to constantly innovate, we have to constantly improve, and we have to help and enhance the gaming experience of our gamers. So that is why we turn to using machine learning and AI stuff to help. Yep.
I see. I think if you're a gamer, today Razer, as you said, is a lifestyle brand for gamers. It's a household name. So why or how did you get started with machine learning?
Overseeing the data science and data engineering tasks at Razer, so my team has set up stable data pipelines and have collected data according to the law. So now the next step is basically what can we do and make use of after having all this data. So obviously we want to have insights that we are already providing today. And the next step is how do we generate intelligence. So over here the short answer is basically use AI, use machine learning. But then if we go deeper, the deeper question would be, given the availability of AI technology today, how do we leverage on them to generate business value? So that is one of the more deeper business questions that we try to answer. And then from there, we build upon our machine learning use case to start the journey with the use of a recommendation engine.
What about you, Gunping? How did you get started with machine learning?
Right. So my team is dedicated to building innovative data products that help customers unlock their new insights and acquire new customers. So one such product that we developed enabled us to identify individuals with high propensity to engage with specific brands and exhibit purchase intent, right? So at StarHub, we receive like terabytes of data every day. And the wealth of insights that we can harness from this data, statistical approach was sufficient for us to deliver first-cut solutions, right? But as we delve deeper, we start to ask ourselves, can we do better, right? Can we predict the footfall of Marina Bay Sands for the next 14 days to 30 days, right? Can we recommend a product to a user that has never browsed a brand website or download their apps? Can we link multiple accounts belong to the same person in the real world in our network because they are ported in and out from our network, and such that we can form a more complete customer journey throughout a longer horizon? Right? How about mapping them into a family unit so that we can perform need predictions based on household base for upselling and cross-selling? So this is how ML comes into play.
It's really interesting to hear about how you're thinking about how data and machine learning affects your consumer experience at the end. What were the goals from business perspective?
Brands come to us and ask, like, I'm going to plan for a roadshow for my new product launching. Can you tell me whether I should do it in Tampines Mall or next in Serangoon, right? Can you tell me more about people who have visited this location? What is their persona, where they work, where they stay, where they play, right? So the key concern of my stakeholder is that whether my product can help them make strategic decisions, whether we can craft ideal customer profile that can help them in their lead gen campaign, right? So as we continue to refine and innovate our data product, I would say that the key principle of our business is that, first thing, ensure that our offerings have unique selling point and provide a strong value propositions to our customers, right? Second thing, strike a balance between offering premium data solutions and make it accessible and affordable to the small medium industry. We are an advocate of democratizing telco insights, not only for the big boys, but to thrive together with the small medium industry so that they can leverage on insights to make decisions. And the last one, but not least, is to stay very strong focus on privacy and data protections to make sure that our customer trusts us with their data. And I think that's the most important principle for everyone in the data business.
So business goals from StarHub perspective is not only about delivering customer experience, but also keeping in things like data protection and governance in mind. How does that work for you at Razer?
So at Razer, as a business stakeholders, right, they have high-level business metrics that they would like to cover. So in this case, it's definitely revenue, time to market. So from here, at Razer, we work backwards. We ask ourselves, like, how do we use machine learning to help to generate revenue and shorten the time to market? And then from here, we actually ask deeper questions. And then we ask our internal customers, what are some of the problems that you face? And how can we use this to help you to reach your business objective? So in this case, we decided to leverage on Razer's ecosystem of hardware, software, and services. So what we want to do is to understand what our user want and to recommend better products for them so that they can have a better gaming experience. So in this sense, this actually gave rise to the use of a recommendation engine, is to help engage them to always have a better gaming experience and through our Razer ecosystem.
Even when you think about the business goals, right? For example, with the recommender system, you could go after potentially new customers with new products or existing customers with new products Do you want to increase frequency of transactions or size of transactions? So I'm sure there were a lot of considerations. How do you prioritize which use case to start with?
I would say pick the problem that captures the highest value, right? Both internally and externally. And this morning my boss said, pick great problem instead of good one, right? Good is not enough, but you need to pick the great one. So I would say that there's a lot of problems that we can use machine learning to solve. In my role, I wear two hats, a product hat and a data science hat. And I always ask myself, right, what is the most important problem to solve? And what is the revenue attached to it, right? So when I first joined the team, me and my boss actually went through an extensive exercise. I have looked through all the data that we have and listed out all kind of problem that we can solve with machine learning. That's like hundreds of them. And my very business-minded boss came back to me and say, go and find out where the money is, right? Which top industry is going to buy your product? And listed out all potential customers and what is the projected revenue for the next 5 years. We spent about like 2 months planning, debating, refining, and finally crafted our 5 years AI roadmap. And over the years, the type of problem that we solve doesn't really change much. But as we know more about the market, understand our customer pain point, we refine our product, our roadmap and strategies, we roll out more products, and we improve our tech stacks, moving from on-prem to hybrid cloud.
So it's starting with a lot of ideas at the beginning, but laser focusing on the business metrics that you want to optimize for, and then building out a roadmap from there. What about you, Hong Jie?
So at Razer, I think we are serving internal customers. So different products actually have different pain points that they want to solve. Like for example, we have a software utility tool. We want to improve the user engagement. We have a game launcher application that we want users to use more. And we also have online stores that want customers to visit more. So all these are some of the internal problems that our internal stakeholders will always come back to me and ask, how do we solve this problem? So how we approach this is, from my perspective, is we want to find one solution that can kill multiple birds at the same time. Basically, we develop something with machine learning that can address as much problems as possible that we can do. So in this case, the recommendation engine would be very helpful because we have something on a software tool so that our users can use the software. And this actually generates some impression, to them, to tell them that this latest gaming hardware actually fits well for this, for the way that you're using our software. And then from then onwards, users have this impression, then they can decide to buy from our online store when they want to. So this is how we actually look at using machine learning to solve the problem. We try to start small, use something that have the most business value and solve the most problems at one go, and then we slowly build upon it from there.
It sounds like Boonping's team is more focused on optimizing for external customers, whereas Razer is thinking more about internal customers. But a common theme I'm hearing from both of you is that it's really important to collaborate with and think about the different stakeholders that you're working with. Is that correct?
Yeah, and maybe just to add on to that, I also believe that we need to have clear ROI and success metrics defined at different stages of your work. So this actually helps us to be agile and re-pivot whenever we want to. So in doing so, for example, if the project is, at any stage of the project, if we decided that, this project is going bad, we are going to stop it. So we can make an assessment and say, okay, we are not going to do it anymore. But on the other hand, if it's really successful, then the question will be, how do we pull in more resources, channel more resources to build upon this such that we can continue to drive more business goals?
I think that's a good method to put these milestones and keeping yourself in check.
Staying agile.
Yeah, staying agile. We talked a little bit about the business challenges or considerations for machine learning strategy. I'm also curious, were there any technical hurdles?
We were running on a fully on-prem Hadoop Spark cluster for many years, right? But over time, we start to face challenges and limitations. We were in need of more storage space when the pandemic kicked in because everyone is working from home. So the sheer volume and velocity of data generated from our telco network is, we just need more storage space. Tasks get longer and longer to run because we have rolled out more ETL pipelines. Right, so the next thing is that as we roll out more machine learning models, the lack of ML ops make our data engineers and data scientists struggle of delivering production level quality pipelines within a short period of time. So that's when me and my team start to ask ourselves, should we take a bolder steps and move our data and ops to cloud? It is not easy because telco data is sensitive. There's a lot of PII. That's where the whole hybrid transformation journey together with AWS started. We have moved our data, petabytes of anonymized data, up to AWS Amazon S3. And because of that, we can now use Amazon EMR to streamline our ETL processes, scale as we need. And we use SageMaker pipeline to run our ML ops. And the last one is we use Amazon MWAA to orchestrate both our ETL and ML ops pipeline.
And what about you, Hongjie?
So imagine we have a problem that is formulated already. Some of the challenges I see, we can see it from different aspects, for example. So the first one is on the technology, tool, and infrastructure side.
Yeah.
So in the case of the recommendation engine that we are building, the first question is, do you want to build your own model in-house using open source packages? Or would you rather use something off the shelf, a managed service, for example, in this case? So for my team, we have explored building in-house. We have explored building our own models, but eventually we decide to use the managed service algorithm by AWS, which is Amazon personalized. So this actually helps to keep the team focused on building the right engine, having contextual data and account for all these differences while abstracting away the need to maintain the model in the long run. And then in terms of, so this actually settled for the technology portion.
Yeah.
And for the infrastructure portion, it also makes sense because Razor is running on AWS. So we already are using microservices like Kinesis, S3, Redshift, SageMaker, DynamoDB, so on. So by onboarding another managed service in personalized, it's easier for us to redesign the architecture and build a functional recommendation engine. So that's the first aspect on the technology tool and infrastructure side. And the second aspect is on the data and skill set. So for data is, do we have the data available? Is it reliable before we start something? So that's something that we always have to look at. Do we have it there? Is it reliable? Can we use it to build features? Can we use it as input? And in terms of skill set is, does the team, the data engineers, data scientists within the team, do they have the right skill set to solve the problem? And if not, how do we go about it? Do we upskill our staff to do that? So all these things comes into play, and then this is when we collaborate with AWS to onboard new services together to help to accelerate the process to make it easier for the team. And the last aspect is on culture and collaboration. So are there formal processes within the company to drive ML development? And then are the different stakeholders involved, like our product developers, our backend engineers, our UI UX personnel? Are they all involved in the different stage of this ML engine development? Are they involved in the planning stage? Because it's actually very important to get all stakeholders aligned, especially when you're serving internal customers. Because the last thing you want is that you build an ML engine that doesn't fit to the product's roadmap. And then it goes off course, it's different from the product's direction. That's the last thing that you want to do. So you have to make sure that all these things are aligned. And also in terms of the priorities, are we also going in the right direction in terms of the roadmap, the milestones they want to cover? So all these are some of the challenges that we face, but it's already been overcome, and today we have some experience doing so, yeah.
So technical hurdles is not just about tooling, but it's also about operational alignment, people alignment, culture and collaboration. I'm sure the audience would love to hear now that you've told us a little bit about the considerations that you had from business and technical side. What's the outcome? How did you do in terms of meeting the success metrics?
From technical perspective, what we have done is that we have standardized our ML workflow for different type of machine learning problem. well, supervised, unsupervised, deep learning, auto ML. And with this, we can actually shorten our turnaround time for production models very quickly. My data scientists are able to generate their first cut solutions within 1 to 2 sprints, thanks to tools like SageMaker Autopilot. We iterate rapidly, and we manage to improve our model more efficiently. Right. The second thing is that we have developed a suite of boilerplates and playbooks based on AWS architecture, so that our data scientists or data engineers, whenever they come on board, they can ramp up quickly and roll out production level quality pipelines. Right. Beyond technical benefit, I would say that the efficiency gain has allowed us to reallocate resources to focus on innovations and new product development. We explore into graph machine learning to large language model like everyone else today, right? We spend more time talking to our customers and partners because we have that pipelines ready, right? We can quickly go back, refine our model and deploy it.
And working with different teams and collaborating with them is really important.
Yes.
What about you, Hong-Jin?
Yeah, for us at Razer, I think we can define the success matrix and ROI at different stages. So imagine we are building a recommendation engine. At the start, we have to measure the mathematical side and statistical side of it, whether the output makes sense, whether our features are correct, the input data is correct. So from here, we measure, for example, we measure our precision, the normalized discounted cumulative gain. And then we decide that, okay, the model is working properly statistically and mathematically. So now we are ready to integrate into the product. And this is the next stage that we measure the success is, does it fit the product's operational requirement? Do the content actually make sense? Does it stick to the business logic that we want the product to show? And then how often does the recommendation content get refreshed? And then this actually involves heavy testing, so we have to ensure that this is fully well integrated and fit the product's operational requirement. Then we move on to the next phase, we roll it out and our end users see it. So over here, we start to measure business metric. So in this case, something like the click-through rate would be helpful to measure success of this ML engine. Yep.
Thank you so much for sharing with us your machine learning journey. And I think next question would be then, what's next? What's next for Razer? What's next for StarHub?
I would say for Smart Hub, we are venture into smart retail, healthcare, cybersecurity related products with our data. For StarHub, as we have the Dev Plus coming in and P360 data lake coming up, we have like 200 use cases lining up, and we look forward to deploy together with AWS in the next 1 to 2 years. Yeah.
I'm looking forward.
Yeah, and what's next for us at Razer? I mean, the recommendation engine has seen success, so definitely we are expanding to more use cases. We want to cover more parts of our business domain, cover more software application, and roll it out to more end users, so that we can increase our coverage from there on. Yeah.
My final question to you would be, is there anything you'd do differently if you were to start over?
If I were to reflect my journey of being a data scientist in the past many years, I guess embrace AutoML and jumpstart solutions to deliver first cut production solutions as quick as possible. As in adopt fail fast and iterate approach, so that we have pipelines running in productions and we buy time to develop state-of-the-art algorithm. I guess that's the most important thing today. Secondly, strike a very strong relationship with your colleague in other departments, the marketing, ops, finance, and BD. I guess if we know each other more, the potential of us, developing or creating more impact, it's tremendous. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'd like to echo what Boon Peng has said. I agree that having the stakeholders involved is very important. So how I do differently, maybe to have better data and ML literacy within the company, have formal processes in place, so that whenever we start a project, we have stakeholders in the meeting, they will also understand from our perspective, like what we are trying to do and whether they can achieve it. And I believe all this collaboration is really important to shorten all this time that we build something together. So this is what I feel we can reflect and improve better.
Well, that's it for today. Thank you.